Have you ever looked into someone's eyes and seen love, but also pain? Sometimes love isn't enough to keep two hearts together, and that's one of the hardest truths to accept in a relationship. Today, we're going to explore something tender, a little heartbreaking, but also incredibly healing. Why men walk away from women they truly love. And no, it's not always because of betrayal or loss of feelings. Often, it's far deeper than that. Hi, welcome back to Emotional Relationship. If you've ever felt confused, hurt, or abandoned in love, this video will gently walk you through the emotional side of it all. Please subscribe if you believe in love that grows, heals, and transforms, even after goodbye. And stay with me until the end. I promise this isn't just about heartbreak. It's about understanding, healing, and finding strength through love. So take a deep breath, maybe hold a warm cup of tea, and let's begin. Because love, even when it ends, always has something to teach us, doesn't it? He doesn't feel emotionally safe anymore. When a man no longer feels emotionally safe, it's like he's slowly drowning in silence. He may love you deeply, but if he feels judged, misunderstood, or like he's constantly walking on eggshells, it chips away at his sense of peace. Men don't always say it out loud. Instead, they retreat. They smile less. They stay quiet more. Imagine a man who used to laugh with you, share his worries, his wins. And now, he just nods when you speak. Emotional safety is like the air in a relationship. When it's missing, love can't breathe. Sometimes he feels like every vulnerability is met with criticism instead of compassion, or that his silence is misread as indifference, when really it's a cry for connection. And he wonders, if I can't be myself here, who am I even loving? Have you ever felt like your feelings weren't safe in someone else's heart? Then you already know how suffocating that is. For a man who's emotionally invested, losing that safety feels like betrayal, even if no one cheated. And here's the sad part. He may still love her deeply, but he chooses to leave because staying would mean losing himself. And isn't it heartbreaking when someone loves you but can't find the space to love themselves too? He feels unseen and unheard. Men crave appreciation too. They want to feel valued, not just for what they do, but for who they are. Sometimes, a man begins to feel invisible in a relationship, like he's just fulfilling a role instead of being cherished as a person. He brings flowers home, helps with everything, supports her dreams, but no one asks how he feels anymore. Real love isn't just giving, it's receiving too. When he feels like his thoughts, desires, or fears are always last on the list. It builds quiet resentment. He might smile through it, say, "It's fine," but inside, he feels like he's fading from the story of their love. Isn't it devastating when the person you love most no longer sees you? It's not about ego. It's about connection. A man will stay when he feels heard, even in silence. But when he feels like a background character in his own relationship, even love can't anchor him there. So he leaves. Not because he stopped caring, but because he couldn't keep losing himself to stay close to someone who forgot how to see him. He's fighting a battle within himself. Not every breakup is about the partner. Sometimes, it's about the man's inner war, one you'll never see unless he shows you. He could be battling insecurity, trauma, fear of failure, or even depression. And love? Love can feel too pure when you don't feel worthy of it. Some men self-sabotage not because they want to leave, but because they feel they don't deserve to stay. He might push her away, act distant, create drama, just to validate the belief that he's not good enough. It's tragic, isn't it? Watching a man destroy a beautiful bond, simply because he can't silence his own demons. Have you ever seen someone ruin something perfect because they didn't feel enough? That's the cruel part of inner battles. They make love feel painful instead of healing. And instead of asking for help, many men walk away, quietly. Not because they stopped loving her, but because they loved her too much to drag her through their storm. And in doing so, they break their own hearts too. He feels the relationship has no future. Sometimes love exists, but the path forward is too unclear. He sees her in his heart, but not in his future. Maybe they want different things: children, careers, places to live, values that no longer align. At first, love feels like it can conquer anything. But over time, reality whispers, and it becomes louder than romance. And though it hurts, he begins to feel like staying would mean holding both of them back. Have you ever loved someone and still known, deep down, that it couldn't work long term? It's like standing in the middle of a sunset, wishing it could last forever, even though the night is coming. He leaves because he respects her enough not to waste her time. Because dragging a woman along without clarity feels more cruel than letting go with honesty. And even though his love is real, his integrity says goodbye. He's tired of trying alone. Love is teamwork. And when one person carries all the effort, it starts to feel more like survival than intimacy. He plans the dates. He initiates the talks. He's the one apologizing, even when he's not wrong. Slowly, that effort becomes exhaustion. And eventually, numbness. At first, he tries harder, gives more, hopes that she'll meet him halfway. But when she doesn't, or doesn't notice, he begins to wonder if it's really love, or just work. Love isn't meant to be a one-person job. Have you ever felt like you're building a castle alone, while the other person just watches from the window? That's how he feels. Heart full, hands tired, and soul empty. When a man is always the one fighting for the relationship, it doesn't feel like a partnership. It feels like a performance. And eventually, he walks away, not because he gave up on her, but because he realized she'd already given up on them. Sometimes, he thinks leaving is love, and this is the most tender truth of all. Sometimes a man leaves not in spite of his love, but because of it. He sees her unhappy. He sees himself becoming someone he doesn't like. And instead of dragging each other down further, he lets go. It's not cold. It's not weak. It's heartbreak in its most mature form. Because some goodbyes are acts of courage, not abandonment. He doesn't slam the door. He closes it quietly, leaving behind only gratitude and grief. Have you ever had to let go of someone just to set them free? It hurts. It haunts you. But it's also beautiful. Because real love wants what's best, even if that means walking away. And so he leaves. Not because she wasn't enough, but because love sometimes is knowing when to stop holding on. Love is never black and white, is it? It lives in the gray spaces, in the tears, the silences, the late-night thoughts of, what did I miss? If you've ever been left by someone who once looked at you like you were everything, please know you were. And maybe you still are. But sometimes love isn't about staying, it's about growing, even apart. Thank you for spending this heartfelt journey with me. I know this wasn't an easy topic, but you listened, you opened your heart, and that takes courage. If this touched your soul, please subscribe, leave a comment, and share this with someone who needs to hear it today. Let's build a space where emotional honesty isn't scary, but sacred. Tell me, have you ever experienced this kind of love and loss? I'm here to listen, always, because healing begins when we stop blaming, and start understanding. From my heart to yours, thank you. You are worthy of love that stays or that leaves gently. You are whole, even in the midst of goodbye. And sometimes, letting go is the start of something even more beautiful.